What's up, guys? This truck's full. I'm sweeping bins here, and this one's full. The other one's I'm assuming he's turned around by now, dumped up in Savage. Restart. There we go. Just got a phone call. I have to call him back quick. I wish you could just like ignore the phone call quick and stay live, but how's it going? Hot. Let's see if I can turn this around. I'm cooling off right between the two bins here. There's quite a breeze. Sweeping bins. So this truck's full, and the other one should be turned around and coming back. We'll do it again here. So figured I'd do a quick live stream. You guys can ask questions if you want, or I'll just kind of catching my breath here. Looks like I just got out of the pool. I wish I was in a pool. I feel like I was in a pool. Shirt changed colors again, and it's about 70 degrees. Darn pigeons. It's about 70 degrees. The humidity feels like it's up, but gosh, every time you're in those bins, it's hot. Oh. Well, I'll go look in here and see how far we got. Bin's almost empty. I just made a video, but for the sake of a live stream, I'll explain it a little bit. This one is empty. This is one we're loading out of. Getting there. This is 3 loads out of this bin here with the sweep. So we got like 5 or 6 contracted, and then he had talked about just moving some corn over to, let's see, this bin here. I was trying to add up all the bush on-site storage. This one here is either like a 20 or a 25. I honestly can't remember, but there's like 9 or 10 loads in there, and we may have about 2 loads, maybe 3, I don't know, somewhere's in there left over when we finish with the contracted hauling. Excuse me. Right on, Evan. Appreciate that. So if we where's my train of thought? Oh, so if the prices keep sucking, we may just sweep that bin out, throw it all in this bin until prices get better next year, maybe, because we have enough storage, because we'll go predominantly a lot more bean acres this year. We'll sweep these clean, and we'll have a lot of because we have to have them completely cleaned out, because this GMO corn that's in there now, and the corn that we have in the ground is conventional, non-GMO corn. So we're going to market it as such, so it obviously can't be contaminated with GMO corn. And I don't mean I shouldn't use that word. Somebody's going to be like, oh yeah, get rid of GMO corn. Honestly, I don't know that we could feed everybody in the world, would it not be for GMO corn. So but we'll have enough storage strictly because we got way more beans this year. So we have like close to 800 acres of beans, and yeah, there'll be quite a bit of beans coming in here. So usually around here we get about 40 to 50, 45, 50 bushels an acre, and somewhere between 500 and 550 acres of corn. You know, so then we usually get around like 150, 160, hopefully. Maybe it'll be even better, but if it yields about 165, we just did the math, and these both will be a plump full. You know, and we'll have a couple, 2, 3 smaller bins over here we can fill up should we need to, which would be a good problem. But the beans, yeah, we can walk back this way. The beans are super tall, super tall. You ever hit a deer? Oh yeah. Work nights, so I don't hit too much animals. I'm actually pretty good with that. But I got a pheasant the other day, unfortunately. If all the world were organic, the world would starve. That is true, because you drive by some of these guys that are organic around here, and it's like, where's the corn? You know, it just looks like a hay field. I'm all for it if they want to do it, but it just doesn't work. And the people that think it would work and they go and they make a big stink out of it, don't eat it then, if it makes you feel that bad. But the fact of the matter is, you know, if we ship the corn and beans across the big pond over to other countries, you know, that's what they need, because they don't have soil like this to grow stuff. So they're starting to pot out. But boy, they are tall. They are tall, like over my waist tall. And usually you'll see that with road beans, road crop, like 30-inch rows. These are drilled. Bad connection. Oh, I went behind the bins here. Shoot. Stand by. Stand by. Yeah, I'll go back to the front of the bins here, I guess. That's where the phone draws the line. Come on. I got 2 bars of service. This is kind of irks me when I want to walk around a little bit, but yeah. Very bad connection. That's fun. Do we do any variable rate? You talking with like the planter? Isn't changing your population on the go? If you are, no. Not that I know of. We don't write any prescriptions like some of the farms do, I don't think he does. He does roll with those electric meters. I'm sure it's an option, you know, if we get that field view, whatever it's called, if you get the full-blown prescription, I'm sure it's an option. But honestly, with the acres out here, it's not the it's good ground, but he fights a lot of like muddy stuff, so I think to make that stuff worth it, right there. So one, two, about 3 rings up. What maturity of the beans? Honestly, I don't know. I wish I did. We could go look and see if there's an empty tote in here. I don't know. I don't remember. Let's go walk over here. I'll probably lose connection in the shed again, but I gotta imagine there's at least 1 empty tote or 1 partial tote left. They were prairie brand, I know that much. Whew. Somebody suggested in my other video I wear a surgical mask because I had a lot of dust around my nose and mouth. Believe it or not, I do. There's just so much dust, I don't know how it gets around. Excuse me. You can see the duals are off for the last time he sprayed the beans. It's not run over as much. Uh-oh. I don't see a tote. We did use them all because we ended on bags. You ever watched Mike the Cop on YouTube or Officer 401? I watched Mike the Cop. 401, not so much, but I have heard of him and I have watched him. When's the new tractor coming? That's a question we'd like to know too. He has not heard from him yet. He hasn't heard from them yet. He figured he'd maybe hear from them today. They might call over. The purchase agreement was signed, I guess, and sent back last week, Thursday or Friday. So it is a substantial trip. You know, it's probably 230 miles for them. No, it's new to us. New to us, sorry. If you didn't catch the other videos, it's a John Deere 8120. And I still don't know the specifics on it. And, you know, we're hoping maybe we'll see it this week, but they might, I'm sure they're trying to catch a backhaul because they work along with like Frontier Ag, those smaller implements that John Deere carries, Frontier Ag I think they're called. And they work side by side with them. And usually they try to catch a backhaul, like a hay rake or something. They do a lot of hay out there. But we'd like to see it soon, because he mentioned, where is that thing? Must be over at his house. Must be over at his house. There's the backhoe we got to hook onto to fix the tile line. He'd like to hook onto the tile plow and buzz down there, because They're a pretty quick tractor, 25 mile an hour. Should have bought Wes's. Yeah. That'd have been pretty neat. I don't know how many hours that one had or anything, but you know, we like them dualed up in the back. And I'm sure you could have got duals, but I think Wes runs some big tires on those. But we might have to hook up these and transfer some grain into these. Brent 640 and a Demco 650. But yeah, maybe we'll see it this week. I gotta work tomorrow during the day to teach a class, and then I gotta work Thursday night and Saturday night. So kind of a one on, one day off, one day on, one day off. Messed up schedule for the next couple weeks. They're tiny wagons. Oh, that's funny. I know you're kidding. They're heavy, really heavy, and we're debating. You know, we used to pull Minnesota. I'm in Minnesota, southern Minnesota. We used to pull the double wagons with the 8440 doubled up, and that was about all the 8440 wanted to get them rolling. But just as important to get them rolling is to get them stopped, and you got to have weight, because the way those work is the hitches slide, and when they push forward on the tractor, how much they're pushing forward on the tractor engages the brakes that much. And I can remember pulling them. I don't remember if they were doubled up or not with the 4630, and I was going slow, but I was just trying to slow down to pull into the bin site, and then it about pushed me off the road. Yeah, they're pretty gnarly, because you know, even just sitting in a dry field, you can see them sinking down. And when they get stuck, you got to be careful, because I'm sure you could just pull the hitch right off them. But I don't know. If it's not that bad of a year, we might just double them up, put them on this thing. Now that we may have, hopefully that's all it was. But for those of you that missed that video too, that was just a really quick, sloppy video I made. But these outer bolts that hold the rim on the tire, they were loose. And you can see they're all kind of, you know, I don't know, they slid. So that may have been the clicking we were hearing. What's my favorite tractor? The favorite one we got here, I like the 70 series. I like the 8970 or the 8870. The 89, we got to figure out this high revage issue. The 8870 is beautiful to run. It idles back. It doesn't have that big Cummins, so that's where the issue runs in, because that big Cummins doesn't communicate with the John Deere computer as well. And we've had Case out here because it's a Cummins engine, and they have Cummins in their tractors. And then we've had John Deere out here, and then they point the finger back at Case because it's a Cummins engine. And then we have Case out here, and then they point the finger back at John Deere because it's a John Deere tractor. And then nobody can figure it out. So one guy told us, well, just put a manual, whatever, mechanical throttle on it. I think that bypasses the computer then, which the owner's afraid here that the fuel economy will suck then. So I had read on one of the forums, that's where we find a lot of our suggestions, believe it or not. That's where he figured out to check those bolts. I think he likes to read forums too. And I had read something about flywheel. If I go to the rodeo, no I don't. If every now and then I'm working in an event that has one, and I'll also go watch it, but I don't go to them just cause. Biggest bin. Lost my train of thought now. Biggest bin, these two right here, 1, 2. They each hold 45,000 bushels. Oh boy. You can see we had a dead furrow right here from the plow. Buffalo, Minnesota. That's up Northwest Metro. Right here. You see water just sits in there. So that's a bummer. And you know, maybe I don't know, remember who worked this. It wasn't me, I don't remember. It's tough to get the big field cultivator. You got to back it up in here and go forward, and then maybe we should have done that a couple times. And it's hard to hit it at an angle, because really to fill in a dead furrow effectively, you got to hit it at an angle. What am I using to live stream? Just my phone, iPhone 7. So Rogers is right next to there. So yeah, pulled a bunch of weeds over across the road. Oh, raccoons, boggers. This is all, well, there's like 4 rows of regular corn the guy's growing for his cows. He picks it with ear corn. And on the other side there's sweet corn, and those buggers are eating it. When's the new tractor coming? I really hope this week, maybe next week. We haven't heard. We have a Cat Challenger 765B. Woof, that's a nice one. My uncle had a 65 Cat Challenger, 65C, and he ran into some issues up in PA. I'm assuming you mean Pennsylvania? That's a bummer. Everything around here, knock on wood, looks pretty good. Our replant beans that we had to do after Mother's Day, our replant beans, they look really short. It's too cold at night. Yeah, it hasn't been the warmest here either, but honestly, it's actually helping us with the aphids. And I can show you what I mean about that, for those of you that aren't aware what aphids are. They're just a bug, as far as my understanding is, and they just destroy soybeans. And you can spray for them, but we haven't had to yet. And that'd be kind of nice, because he was saying something about you lose about a half a bushel an acre. I mean, if they go out there just in driving them down. See that? Ah, where'd you go? See that? Bugs. On right County. Yeah, I know that one guy, MN Millennial Farmer up in Alexandria. I think they had some issues, but really, it's been kind of like. Also have a John Deere 7800. That's a nice ride. We haven't had issues. I mean, there's some out there. I gotta try to find some. Usually they're on the bottom side. There's maybe 1 or 2 right here. Where's my camera? You see those yellow dots right there? That's probably an aphid. And really, I haven't seen many sprayers going. Guys will usually throw a, oh god, bad connection on the back side of the bin. Guys will spray fungicide along with the aphid stuff, but come on. And a 4640. That would be a nice tractor right there. 8310 RT. That's a beauty. Look, you can't even tell. Remember I made that video of that semi that just turned around in here because they get lost? You can't even tell. Darn guy. You can see it clear as day in this field. So yeah, I'm not seeing a lot of aphids out here, which is good because you know, the rain kind of washes them off and it's cool at night, so we might snake away without having to spray for them, which would be excellent. And then get rolling on getting some equipment ready. Dream tractor. I'd like to have an 8R tractor, like an 8310R, or even like an whatever the 8360R. Big old beast on a grain cart. 8370. Yeah, that's the new style. I think the newest. They don't make a 360. I think it's a 370 now. That'd be a nice rig, but we would have to cover some acres. Versatile 260. See, our Versatile dealer, they just got bankrupt out. They carried Gleaner and Versatile stuff over there, and Nearstrand, Isaacs, and Implement. Getting their oats soon. Oh geez. No, we got a ways to go, but we got some stuff to do to the combine yet too. So we haven't done any prep work there, but you can see my 2 piles. So I don't know, maybe he'll try to make another run. I think they're open till 6. And I'll fill up the other truck while he's gone. And then, yeah, we got to clean out all these bins too. So, yeah, we got quite a bit of stuff to do. And my work schedule is quite busy as well. So, you guys will have to bear with me. I got 1 day on, 1 day off, 1 day on, 1 day off. I'm gone all of next week at a training. and then back to the 1 day on, 1 day off, and then I go to a little bit more consistent of a schedule after that. But I like the winter. Sure, yeah, it's not bad. Fall's the best. I don't like being trapped inside in the winter, and you can only snowmobile and do stuff outside so much in the cold. But you saw our trucks a couple times in Mankato. Yeah, he's hauled beans over there. You probably did see these trucks over there. Did something. I was hoping not to have to, but I had to since I'm out of money. I don't remember what he's talking about. Did something I was hoping not to have to do, but since I am out of money. I don't remember what we were talking about. How wide is the roller? The roller we had this spring, my uncle made that. It's a 30 footer. 30 footer. So it does a really good job. But yeah, I don't know. It just kind of looks like it wants to rain, but there's nothing on radar, but it looks dark. It's just so humid. I'm sure it can just develop out of nowhere though. So, yep. What else? Not much. Not much. Well, I suppose I'm going to Brilliant roller. Nice. Not familiar with that brand. But yeah, it's gonna be time shortly, because after we haul, or after he hauls, let's see, he just did one, about 4 or 5 more loads. After he hauls about 4 or 5 more loads of corn, that's it. Unless the prices go up, we have to empty out this bin as well. But like I said, we may just combine the 2 bins. So 4 or 5 for sure, about 5 more loads of corn, maybe like 2 or 3 loads of beans, and it's gonna be game time to get stuff ready. So be ready for those. You know, I'm sure I'll make a few prep videos or repair videos or something. I'm really hoping to be here when that tractor shows up. No. Peanuts or cotton? No. Nothing that I've seen around here. 7215R. That'd be a nice rig. I just like the full size 8000 series. When's the 8120 coming? Hopefully soon. Hopefully soon. Haven't heard from him, so maybe this week. Combine do we use? I think it's an 02, 01. Can't remember which one. We had a combine fire. I think we got an 01 now. He has a 01 case 2388, and it's a beast. Lots of power, and it does well. But we got to do a little bit of attention to it, like always. Combines are high maintenance. So we got a, well, I'm sure somebody will ask, Drago 6-row corn head on it, because he used to run a 2166. But somebody will say get a bigger head. You'll see we have a lot of narrow openings, and we do a lot of road, to a lot of little fields, so it's nice just to not be able to take the head on and off 100 times a day. Walker Farms, I think I have. I'd have to double check though. But that's a nice combine tracks. We looked into tracks, don't have tracks though. We have singles on the front, and we put a mud hog on the back, and that's about as, it's really good for 4-wheel drive with singles on the front. That thing goes through some nasty stuff if you go back to my last year videos and see all the mud we went through. So yep, I'm gonna load out one more truck probably, and I'm gonna go home. I watch How Farms Work. Yeah, and I watch Travis's channel, the rest of the story as well. Southern Minnesota, around Northfield and Faribault. Oh, if it hasn't moved in 3 or 4 years, you should be able to get them to budge. They said when they were dealing on this 8120 that you can tell just because corn prices are the way they are, that they said you can tell that they that the dealerships haven't been selling a lot of equipment. They said the guy seemed, you know, way more not pushy, but like wanting to make the deal work than normal. So he's throwing in front weights, and he was throwing in that hammer strap on the back, and so I'm sure you can make a deal work with those boys that if they want to move that equipment. It's exactly a $3 corn. One of the places around here is under 3 now. It's brutal. So that's part of the reason why we might just keep the rest of this corn and wait for the prices, because you just can't make this work. Asking is 10 G's, I think 6,600. Nice. Neighbor was, what did he have for sale? I think it was a 6,600. He ran that for a while. Be a nice ride. How many acres are you gonna try to do with that thing? But yeah, it's about game time. And I know you had talked about keeping the 8120 on the wagons, but we don't use the, I mean, we use the wagons when we're close to the bin site, but I think we're gonna run the 8120 on the cart. Better lights and just everything else, and then 22388. Oofta. Yeah, you could go in there with a low ball and then run the 8430 on the wagons. So it's a big cart. You know, if it was the row crop, I don't know if it would pull easier or not, but I tell you what, these big tires, if they start squishing mud, I don't know, you have to make sure. That's why that power shift transmission is going to be nice though. And then you can just click, 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 and just, they say you just get some speed and just poof, get right through it. Whereas on them babies, for anybody that drives them, well, heck, in case you don't know, North Ireland, it's 10:30 at night here. Whoa! I don't know what it is right now. I can't X out of this to look at the time. I'm sure it's around 4 o'clock right now. This tractor, we've put 1,000 hours on it since he got it, probably over 5 years ago. But so say you're cruising along with the cart, all you got is, if you're in like 3 or 4 or 1 or 2, that's all you got is the one knock over. And if, I mean, it's a little bit of a speed difference, but to get that other gear you have to clutch it, push forward, click, and off you go. But if you got weight pulling you back in the mud, the second you push the clutch in, wham, you're gonna just hit the windshield and you're gonna be stuck. And then to get it rolling again is gonna, good luck. Wild Hogs, not that I know of. It's a good movie though. And but yeah, whereas the power shift transmission, it's gonna be a nice seat, nice view out the front. You're just gonna be able just to click, 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 and you're just gonna hit that low spot and go right through it. So it's gonna be nice. Those front weights are gonna be nice for pulling the heavy cart. We might take them off when we spray, quite honestly. And when we spray and plant, there's no sense to have all that weight compacting the ground. And I don't know how much weight they're putting on it, but I know they were gonna put some weights on the front. So oh, the other thing that'll be nice is I think I mean you can do it on these tractors too. A new to us tractor, 8120. Yeah, new to us, 81 John Deere 8120s hopefully coming soon. But it'd be nice, somebody tell me if on an 8120, so we have issues with when this auger comes out and it gets over center, it wants to just come crashing down. So you really got to be good on the hydraulic remote and just kind of burp it and just shake it a little bit and then help it slowly come over. Where on some of those tractors you can set it, but maybe that's just on like the new ones that have that control screen or whatever. But you know, you can tell it to take 20 seconds to fold open. If anybody knows what I'm talking about. Going back isn't an issue, it's just on its way out. You know, if it comes slamming down hard, you know, we've had this pop. The crops are looking good, except for our replant beans are really short, but we got an air reel, so we should be okay there on the bean head. But we've had that pop, I think it's just a couple times that I can remember. Once if you forget you get tired if you forget the auger on and you go to fold it, you know, back like this, and the auger's still going. These will just kind of boom, boom, and it hits for a second, and this can. We've had it blow out. I don't know. We've had them hydraulic D10, right? Hopefully we can do that on the John Deere 8120. We've welded one, but I think we have two. This looks like a new one, and I think we have a welded repaired one just in case we ever have issues. But yeah, so like I said, the 8120, we'd like to put the tile plow on. It'd be kind of neat just to bug down there and throw a tile line in the ground and come back and, you know, just kind of get the hang of it and get it on the cart and get the cart serviced and tow the cart around to see how it does with the cart on it. So 30 minutes, so it's quite a video, guys. You're from central Minnesota, like West Metro or where? Because we're by Northfield and Faribault. So the shack, the electrical building, nope, that is just it's got a couch and where we do our moisture testing, and just kind of where you unload the dryer shack, we call it. Maybe you can just see it. If I go over there, I'm gonna get bad connection, I think, but between the buildings there's a electrical shack that runs the dryer and everything. See in the semi? Sure. I don't even know what this thing is. Freightliner. That's the man cave. Yeah, that's exactly it. Freightliner Columbia. It's got a Mercedes engine in it. Whoa. 10 speed. So over and up is reverse, and then 1, then 5. You flip that up, and that's your high range. So yeah, it's a nice. I think it used. What does it used to be? A Quick Trip truck, Quick Trip, or whatever they're called. In Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, they're called Quick Trips. Gas station. It used to pull tankers, I think. It's still got a thing where when it's idling, if you don't touch a brake pedal, the clutch, or any buttons in here in 5 minutes, I think it is, maybe 10, it shuts off. Thrashing being Butterfield. No, but we have one. But in Dundas, close by, we have one. Labor Day weekend. See, they already picked the weed off and bundled it up for the thrashers. There we go. Whoa. Peek up in here, I suppose. But I'm starting to lose people. Well, that's okay, because I'm over 30 minutes. I gotta get going. Oh, it's this weekend. Oh, geez. Well, I got quite a pile up front. It's hard to get out of the bin in time. I think I'll be okay, though. Got some nice tractors. Nice. Yeah, if you your name says 8295R, that's a nice rig. I think I got a good load. This is gonna be enough, I think. I'm probably right around, like, the back's not quite as much. I'm sure I'm like around 78,000 right now, maybe. Just a guessing. We'll have him double check it. If we got to sprinkle a little more on, we'll do that. And maybe he'll try to take off. But if it's already 4:30, boy, I don't know. He'd make it. They close at 6. So it'd be close. If you get stuck in traffic, that would suck. So, alright, guys. I'm not gonna make this take forever, so I appreciate everybody checking in, asking questions, and that was fun. So we will check you guys later.